No funny business this episode, I'm just straight angry. So if you guys haven't already heard, Mattel Creations released a new Jurassic Park set for Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary, of course. However, I do have some very, very big problems with it. But let me start off positive because there is things that I do like about this little set that they've shown off. The gate is pretty cool. I like the fact that it actually opens up. I think that's a very cool touch that they didn't need to put in, but I'm glad they did. The Ford Explorer is fantastic. It looks amazing from everything they've shown off. I don't think the Tim and Lex figure that they put up were really that necessary. I do like the fact they put in fences though. That is pretty cool. And I've seen a lot of discussion on the Buck Rex they put out for the Hammond collection, which I think is a massive improvement over the other two we've gotten, by the way. There are some details on the head and neck area that I think could have been better, but overall I'm not going to complain too much. But the thing I think is probably the coolest about all of this is the goat that has a detachable leg. I think that's fucking awesome. And that's the set. That's what we're getting for Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary. T-Rex, car, kids, goat, and these little things right here. But they're only an early funding bonus. And that's me done giving any sort of compliments. Now let's get into what I really hate about this entire thing. It is a crowdfunded set. Now for the uninitiated or those who don't know, crowdfunded is essentially anything like a Kickstarter or even a GoFundMe could even be considered that. But in this case and many more, usually depending on how many backers there are or how much money you put forward, you can get rewards. I'm sure quite a few of my audience are familiar with Beast of the Mesozoic. That was a crowdfunded project, and I want you to remember that name for later because I'm going to bring them up again. And I also want you guys to remember that usually Kickstarters and even GoFundMes are usually done by people who don't have the funds to actually put this stuff out on their own. My first criticism is that Mattel is not a company that needs to be doing this. They most definitely have the funds to put this stuff forward onto mainstream markets. Crowdfunds usually in the most successful scenarios get a lot more money than they originally anticipated, and that's what I think Mattel was probably trying to go for with this. It just comes off as really money hungry and greedy, and especially because of the fact that this is something fans have asked you guys to make for about 5 years. And I'm sure some people who support this set would probably come and say that, you know, we're supporting Mattel, we're giving them financial backing, which, like, no. As the consumer, the only financial backing we should be giving Mattel is the products they put on store shelves or other markets, especially for a set that already costs $250. It is absolutely ridiculous for them to be asking 8,000 people for $250. I want to mention this is a set that's probably about 60% repaints and re-releases. If you take out Timmy, the car, and the Rex, you're probably going to get a set that's probably worth a little over 100 maybe. And I think that would be a hell of a lot more justified than whatever the hell they're charging for this. And my second big criticism with all of it is the fact that they're locking all of this behind, first of all, a crowdfund, which most kids and or other collectors aren't going to be able to afford because it's $250 goddamn dollars. But again, most kids are never going to get their hands on this because even if they were rich, most of them don't follow Collect Jurassic and or Mattel Creations. I can guarantee you most kids don't even know what the word crowdfund means. I think if they put a gate and a couple of fence pieces into a big old box and put it in stores, that would have been a much better 30th anniversary gift. But it's for the collectors. I've heard more collectors say they do not like this set at all, rather than I've seen collectors praise it. And rightfully so, because the only way you're gonna get this set is if you collect Jurassic or you sell your right kidney. I don't know if Mattel has ever crowdfunded anything before with any of their other products, but I do have a little theory about why they chose to do it with the Jurassic Park line especially. And that theory has to do with Beast of the Mesozoic, because I think they're literally copying them. If I had to guess, they saw the immense success of Beast of the Mesozoic, their Tyrannosaur series, Raptor series, all of the fucking series, right? They saw that and they were like, well, let's do that for Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary, and just no. BOTM is a tiny little company that's primarily ran by like one man and a couple employees, right? That's about all it has. Mattel is a fucking multi-billion-dollar company. They do not need to crowdfund for shit. But that's just a theory. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. But that's all I really have to say about Mattel. However, as you've noticed, the Mattel video is not over. So what more do I have to say about Mattel? Well, nothing really, but this next portion of the video is mainly just going to be calling out some shitty behavior I've seen, mostly over on the collector Jurassic Twitter. I don't want to say that he's trying to really shove it down our throats that we should buy this thing, but I am saying that it seems he really wants to shove it down our throats that we should buy this thing. If people want to spend their money more wisely, that is their decision. This whole peer pressure thing with trying to get people to put more money into it because the wait and see mindset might cancel any further pipeline projects. What the fuck does that even mean? Overall, I just really disagree with how he's handling it. But that is all I do really have to say for this video. I'm done ranting. Good, bye-bye. We now are in love with Mattel. They've done no wrong. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I do not recommend sending any hate over to any of the specific people I mentioned, like a very specific big influencer in this community. Although, if you do want to voice your criticisms for Mattel, do that. They're a corporation. It doesn't matter. And tell me what you guys think would have been a better 30th anniversary gift. Personally, I feel if they really wanted to crowdfund something, the Hammond Collection Brachiosaurus would have been a lot better. And no ending gag. This video was a full-on rant.